And we have pressed the big red go live button and we are streaming for Stars Confusion. Oh dear God, it's only 12 days till Christmas. How are we all doing? I am noticing numbers are a bit low in the queue, so we'll see if people pop in a few moments. If not, we will work something out. Hi Rise. Oh dear. I don't know where everybody is, but this is objectively the best day to do Tiles of Confusion, Friday the 13th. It is the day when the Yakumans have a chance of appearing. And of course, conversely, the day you're more likely to deal into them, I suppose. Oh dear. I don't want to have to do ranked, but I guess I might have to do a ranked match if it is just you, unfortunately. I've been ranked on Soul since I got to Expert 3, however long ago that was. Was Expert 3? What even am I these days? The Master 1. No, I'm in Master 1. No. I've been Expert 3 for so long, I forgot about the damn progression I've made. Oh dear. Yeah, it's there. Of course you do. As I say, it is the day for getting Yakumans, or for dealing into them. Those are the only two acceptable answers. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I mean, I've always wanted to do the flex of, you know, completing the Kokushi Maso and then reaching for the 13-sided weights for return, admittingly. But, you know, the mathematics have got to be on your side if you've got enough turns left, right? But I've never got to the confidence of actually doing that in a game at all, even in a casual format like this. But, well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's, you know, you never know. We are due a Yakuman. It has been a long while since there was one. Let's not count the fact that I've not really been doing these for about a year. But we're definitely due an on-stream Yakuman. Yeah, no, that's... That is why it's a double, depending on the rule set. It's the same with a 9-sided Shuren as well. That's also a double if it is genuinely 9-sided. Actually, do I have double Yakuman on? Is a good question. I do have double Yakuman on. We can get two. Alright, welcome Draconis. We'll give somebody else a couple of minutes to turn up, and if not, we'll throw an easy AI on there and we'll just get started. Just so we got something on stream. Hi, Prospero! Okay, the Yakuman day will begin. So what have I hit? I've hit Suanko, I've hit Ryuiso. What else have I actually hit on stream? I think it might just be those two. I think I've gone for Kokushi a few times, but I don't think I've actually finished it from memory. Maybe I have. So Sushi. Yeah, we all want that. I mean, last time we were doing this, I nearly got the all 1s and 9s, the name of which escapes me right now. Because it was the only chance I had of winning was getting that Yakuman. But wasn't to be, as most Yakuman attempts are. But we are definitely due one. Shinroto, there you go, thank you. You can tell how many times I think about it with that. Alright, 6 viewers. Prospero might have a bit of a race on his hands here. We'll see how it goes. And if you are just here watching, just please say hi. We'd like to know you're here. And if you're completely confused by how the game is working and how things happen, feel free to ask questions and I will attempt to answer them during the game. I need to go out making clips from the last one because somebody did ask me a couple of questions. Downside of clips is it's a 1 minute thing, No worries. Usual rules applies. Again, Bryce just explaining that really kind of the thing there, but it's fine. Oh, that is 4. Alright, let's go then. Random seats on. Boop, badoop, badoop, badoop. For some reason I didn't badoop. Alright, good luck to you all. Let us begin. No, I think I scared all 3. Yeah, we did. It did show 6 viewers at one point, but now it's down to 3. So, ah well, it's fine. I'll just do my usual commentary stylings, and we'll see how it goes. And again, questions are absolutely fine. I prefer them not to be specifically related to specifically pointed questions about my hand at the time, but always happy to answer questions. Okay then, Double Dora. Starting west, couple of free terminals to get rid of. This could be pretty good. Don't know if we're going to go for the full flush here, or whether we're just going to hang it on the outside. Maybe I should have gone 1 pin over the south missingly, but I'll give it a shot. West is ours. We'll try and lean into this if we can. Honitsu Trudora will be fine. 8's still a loose tile. We'll get rid of that next, and then we'll start thinking about getting rid of these. Well, all the Wests are gone, so that wasn't going to, that's not going to happen. Does mean we're likely now defaulting to Riichi and Tudora. Or possibly Chitoi. Chitoi's not impossible from here. Chitoi Doradora would be Mangan. Okay, we're going for Chitoi and Tudora. 2, 1, or 6. There's a single 1 out there. There's a single 2 out there. Both of them would be probably fine.
Riichi.
Alright, Riichi, Chitoi, Doradora. If we sumo, it is a Hanuman. No additional information. Sozu should be looking a little weird on my end, but, you know, we're hoping to draw it ourselves for the Hanuman. Mangan if somebody deals in. But since we have nowhere to Vidora, this is a perfectly valid start. It'd be difficult for somebody to have a better hand than us in terms of projected value outs, so absolutely correct decision to go for the Hanuman here. Maybe we could have just stayed silent and gone for the Mangan. That was secure, but yeah. Chiso's good enough. Also, with the 1 and 3s being kind of walled off, the 2 is, you know, 2's looking a little safer all the time. The only risk, of course, with a Chitoitsu is that somebody might just incidentally have the other 3. It looks like they're all just folding for safe tiles, so we just got 3 more draws, and we'll see if it works. I've not done a single Sozi tile up to this point, so no cutscene from Rise. Good. Oh, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate from Rise. Stops at Mangan though, because it was a deal in. But, a good start. Okay, so a 9k lead. And the dealer turn if we get any kind of win here. But we're not going to go overly aggressive for this one. We're probably just going to try ride this out. Maybe go for just a quick Tanya hand and see if we can just get Draconis off the dealership. Not interested in adding value to the board by canning at this stage of the game. Both of these are callable if we want to. The problem is the rest of the hand's kind of disjointed, so if we think 2 calls, that, then we still got a mess here. If our hand gets a little closer together, I'd be happy to call, but I think we're going to hold off if the 2 of 6 come out now. Oh, that's unfortunate. To be fair, 2 of them had already gone, but still, discarding the pair is never nice. Okay, potential link shape there.
Pong.
Yeah, we'll gamble this. That's a little awkward, but we'll work with that when it comes to it. Okay, so we're up against 2 calls. It doesn't look as if it's, say, Honitsu from the 8-3 discarded. So probably just value, incidental value things. So we're going to cut the 1, 2, 3, the 1 here. If we end up for a 10 for it later, that's fine. But we have made a minimal contribution here. We have an unknown hand, and we know we're only fighting Prospero for 1,000 points. So we're gonna be passive on this one. All right. We also just scored 2 safe tiles, so... Toy Toy. So, the easiest defense against Toy Toy is discard what you see on the table. And if it's not Toy Toy, then it's Dragon only, in which case it's 1,000 points, and I do not mind dealing into 1,000 points. I wonder if we challenge that, actually. Well, we keep with the discard what's on the table plan. Got to be careful of Rise. Rise might actually have something a bit more interesting than this, but 6-pin gives us 6-pin gives us a Tanya. That is Toy Toy. Toy Toy Dragon for 3. Yeah, Toy Toy is always a little tricky. You get to this sort of awkward end part at the end of the hand, and either you get it and it's not that valuable, or it backfires on you. This is an interesting hand. I'm going to start with West. Hey there, Felix. Or Bestie, whichever it is. Oh, do I want to... I'm going to go 4-pin here. I kind of want to go into the outside of this one. Maybe see if we can pull off a Jin-Chan. Maybe see if we can get anything there. I love sleeping. Sleeping is the best. I should do more of it. Norfu Pass. Okay, 3-pin we can take. We're going to go for this full outside hand, I think, at this point. Ideally, we might have a little bit of time, and that's a useful enough draw. Alright, so I think the thing's off there, but a long string, 2 pairs, 2 from Tenpai. I can take this. Ideally, a 2-pin, 2-1 9-pin, or something that connects to the chain of Manzu. That'll do. That connects. Does mean that we got 1 too many pairs, but means we can be into potentially a 9-9 weight. Or 9-1, depending on how this goes. None of these have been played, which is interesting. Outside hand is probably on people's minds at this point, and I'm not the only one doing sort of random middle discards early. Rise is the only one kind of playing this traditionally at this point. Not going to call that. Unfortunately, I put the delay on, which is unfortunate. So that might be a problem later down the line. Reach on the 4-pin? Reach on the 2-pin.
Riichi.
I'm gonna reach him with 2-pin. There are more outs here, but also we paused them at 9, so I don't want to have this as part of my weight, just in case people are going to be passive around that pause they saw. Also, I've been playing a lot of Pinsy tiles, so that might incidentally come out of people. But the hope is that there's one for us to draw, and there is. Sumo. Reach only, I think, but... Oh, 1 error. Still, Conceal Triplet gives us a few more mini points, and that brings us up to 41k. Alright, repeat. 1 Dora. Start with North. The jam would appear to be flowing. Okay, pair of 7s. It's one too many pairs, but we might be able to do something else with it. It's also a middle pair, so yeah. Probably want to be getting rid of stuff near the Dora soon-ish. 1, 2, 3, Sanchki. Ah, darn it. So I did that on autopilot. We'd been better off keeping the 1, 2 rather than the 2, 4. Just on the off chance there's a Sanchki. 1, 2, 3 in each sequence, but again, unlikely. That allows us to clean up the pairs. Is that the best thing for us to do? Probably not anymore. Since we've given up on the Sanchki, we're going to get rid of the 1, 3. Very nice. So, Ishanten, if we can draw a free man, we have Reach and Dora. We'll see how this goes. Potential Sun Anko. No, we're going to sit with the Sun Anko plan. So we can obviously convert one of our things into a two-sided weight, accept 5s and 8s from it. We start to cut the door at some point, and our hand isn't as valuable if we pull that off. I prefer the way we're going at the moment. We have 2 safe tiles. We have options. Let's just see how this goes. No Dora have been played, and Rise has just played the first Manzi from his end, and it's low. So Rise has got to be close to Tenpai. Okay, the freezer walled off. Not that that's massively helping me in any sort of capacity, but it's, you know, good to know. Pinzu are very expensive right now, so let's hope we're not in a weight that needs it. He shouldn't be. Well, might be in the pair weight. 4 and 7 and 9 currently seem like the most candidates. A 5-man. Risk the late Dora. It passed, and that is a reach. We have 3 safe tiles against this reach, so we're going to use them. 5-man is not safe against that reach. Neither is 4-man. We are probably out against an unknown reach from Rise. Prospero is not out. That's a new tile from the expensive Pinsy set, which we're quite grateful for. East is live still, so we don't want to be playing that either. But yeah, it's just going to be 2-pin, 2-pin, get ourselves a couple of safe tiles. We've got 7, so as our final safe tile, which probably play now unless we see something obvious.
Run.
And that is a deal in. It was a 6-9 weight. Reach Pinfu and double Dora. 1 Dora, sorry. Okay, dealership lost, but that's fine. We didn't lose any points. Everything is hunky-dory. Let's move on. East 4. One Dora and a pair of whites. We can potentially have a bit of a rapid turnaround with this. Don't know if we're going to call the first dragon. Almost certainly call the second one.
Boom.
Rise is also called an offsuit win, so we'll be bearing single suit hands in mind. Yeah, we're going to call the second one, not the first one. Now, true, the second one might not ever turn up, but, you know, I don't want to commit to this hand at this point in the game.
Boom.
Not this early. Oh, is it a day for Yakuman? Alright, so 2 offsuit wins.
Boom.
Manzu, Toi Toi, Honitsu of some kind, I imagine. We're already kind of under pressure here. Dealer 3 calls on turn 6. Lisai. Well, we're gonna get. We're still somewhat in this, but Rise opening his hand up very early means that he probably has at least a pair of Dora, or he's got another, or he's got a double Yaku high weight with Toi Toi maybe. Either that, or he's just desperate for a Renchan. East is safe though, thank you, Prospero. Did he genuinely have it? Honey, yeah, okay, Honitsu Toi Toi. Dealer Manga. And that puts Rise back into contention now. Yeah, that was a good hand. Opening hand usually devalues it, but not in that case. Alright, Renchan. Almost. That was the... yeah. Alright, Dragon Stout. He never had it, though. Never had it. Alright, West is not useful for us, so we'll pass it. We can call East here. Get rid of a couple of our least tiles. I'm hoping to get some Pinzu in this, or connect something up there. That's actually reasonably useful. Pair of 9s. If we call, we are reliant on getting this East first, but a little bit of progression starting up now. Carnage available. Feels like we don't want to, but we'll see how this goes. So the triplet, and then we got the 8 weight here. This is the thing. We are pretty close. Would love to draw that third East. That, I think, just sets everything else in the hand up. 2 Easts, 2 of the 8s are gone. Right, Dragon Call from Draconis. Was that a call for Tenpai? No, but now I have to think about things a bit more. Committing, of course.
Chi.
Fully committing. Alright. Hello there, how do you play this game? We have no idea, Mono. I've not played this game since a couple of weeks ago, actually. But in general, for a year. I think the way you play it is you do that. And then you regret everything. That seems to be how I remember playing this game. I can't even call... Well, I could call that, but it would be a call to nothing at that point. Should have gone for it. Should have gone for it. See, this is me being out of practice here. I should absolutely have gone for that, even against 2 calls and double Dora. 8 safe in 2 directions. See mode. Well, I gave Rise an extra Dura. But it was only a simple sand, so we can live with that a little bit. That puts the gap down to about 4k. Alright, let's... Come on. Just need to knock it off. We're not at home to a Rise comeback. Alright, Prospero calls south. Yeah, so should have called the 9s ultimately, and I don't know. We still needed the east ultimately, and I don't think it was coming out of anyone, but still. We played the coward, and we got punished for it. At least a little bit. Okay, possible Itzy time for the first time this stream. Okay, Rise discarding Dora on turn 4, though it is a terminal one, so it's a bit more reasonable.
Chi.
Sure, let's commit. What's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to overcommit and Rise is going to increase his lead. So, let's go. Free from Honitsu. What could go wrong?
Chi.
Possible Itsu is open, so it doesn't really count. In my mind, anyway. Thanks for the extra draw. Kinda needed it. Didn't help me. Worst part of this is I'm probably going to have to play my 9 at some point. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that sequence of events at all. Alright. We're no green safe against him. We'll think about that in a moment. When Dora is safe against Rise. And that Dragonis is almost set again for Tanya of some sort.
Chi.
Alright, Itsu achieved. Let's see if we can actually win this damn game. Yeah, so this is just miserable. Oh, absolutely. Look, Friso is a safe tile to Rise, and what are the odds I need another hand to get some? I guess that's the risk they think I'm about to deal in, so yeah. So I've got to draw this last Friso, which might not exist. The good news is I think the 8 is walled off now. It wasn't. Oh, maybe it was. Yeah. Look, I've just got an Itsudora 1. It's open. It's only 2,000. You can deal it to me. It's fine. I'm not even going to be tempted by at the end of this. Well, absolutely. Well, the 1 pin's safe, so we'll absolutely call if we can, but no.
Note.
Alright. Rise takes the lead. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't quite take the lead. Okay. It's fine. Alright, north-south. I mean, to be fair, that was an aggressive push against the dealer who's on a bit of a rampage here. This will not be. This is just calling, because I need to kick Rise off now. This is what? Third Renchan? Yeah, there's too many points in the middle. Besides which, the Itsu is only ever possible. Sure.
Pong.
Fortunately, too many Wests are out, so I can't get... Actually, I could still get Yakuman. Pair of those plus all the remaining East. It's possible. Yakuman is still possible. Terminals and Honors was also possible had I committed from the start.
Riichi.
Rise, come on. It's definitely the plan. If we can manage it, it's definitely the plan. Oh, for God's sake, Rise. Alright. Alright, Rise with Adila Hani. I was doing well. I mean, I still am doing well. I'm above 30k and it's on a rampage, but yeah. Alright. Tudora. Alright, this is the stopping hand now. We go all in. Honitsu Dora free. Okay, that's encouraging.
Pong.
Do you play a little rank? I play barely any ranks. We were just discussing that a little earlier. I am Expert 1, but I achieved that rank over a year and a half ago and haven't really played that since. At one point, I was trying to build my Tenho rank back up. I used to be a second dan on Tenho, and then my account got removed because I had inactivity, and then I tried again, and that account got removed for inactivity. And I think I still got my current one, but I think it's at first queue. Might be first dan, I can't remember. Oh, there we go, door free. Yeah, usually, if I'm playing in ranked, I'm usually playing a little more seriously than I would do here. But, of course, Mono. Yeah, we know Mono's very new to the game. Also, a former champion of Tiles of Confusion. But, you know, we'll ignore that side of it. That championship meant nothing, because the stakes have never been lower in these town events. Come on. Don't want to stall now, but Draconis is not going to give me any help. I can call North because I've got Sevens weird disappear here, so... But there is only one of the Norths left. Very nice. Okay, Ishanten. The real question is, do I go mad with this hand now? Because there is a very real... This is Tenpai. I have Dora free. Honitsu Dora free. I've got to go Honitsu Dora free. I'm looking at this, but I need to not rise off the dealership, so let's just go with this.
Riichi.
He's reached into this. Ha!
No.
Take it. We were brave and it paid off. Whether that was a correct move or not, it paid off. But yeah. Had to stop him though. It was getting out of control. Had to be stopped. And to be fair, had you know I dealt in with that, I was still probably going to end up second regardless. But yeah. Alright, Rise is in sight now. We have a fight for the win. South 1. Well, we got a lot. We've got half a game yet to go, so it's not urgent. It's just obviously, you know, had he have won that hand as well, I think a 40,000 point gap would have been a little extreme for me to manage. I'd have probably had to start playing seriously against the other two, rather than looking upwards. But we'll see. Maybe I just calculated that I needed the Ackerman and started going only Ackerman play, and see how that went. Meanwhile, East. Drawing Ackerman is always the answer. Sometimes you don't need that though. If you know the point gap, you can sometimes just aim for a slightly worse hand. I have certainly gone for Yakubin only playing at various points, but you know, not this time at the moment. This is going to be a nice cheap hand. If we get that 7 early, that would be ideal. Get rid of these two. West or a 1 would be perfect. If somebody would now play a West.
Boom.
That is a dragon. Interesting cut. I mean, honestly, it's the worst of the shapes we've kind of got left here. I want to have this as a final safe tile since I drew that at that point with the 6. The 4-6, though, versus this, I kind of prefer. We're still kind of locked into this at this point, but I don't know. Again, my efficiency is the main thing that I've suffered from in terms of not playing this game for a year, and I was not that amazing at it beforehand, if we're going to be fully honest about my ability to play this game. But nice. I don't think I've got a Kazoe yet. As I say, the ones that on stream, I've picked up only a Suanko a couple of times and a Ryuiso in a Sanma live game with Washizu tile, so I don't know how legitimate the Ryuiso is, but still. We don't have to prospero, but it should be cheap. It was. I can 1500. I know it's a dealer Renshan, and I know it increases the gap to rise. But if I'm dealing into a hand, I prefer it to be that. And sometimes you just make judgment calls based on how cheap their hand must be if that thing deals into them specifically. Wasn't necessarily my active thought process because I was looking at my own hand, but. This is a nice little Tanpin hand, so we'll start moving towards that. So Draconis is on an interesting start.
G.
What are the upgrades here? 678 Sanch Q, 456 Sanch Q. I guess both of them are technically still on at this point. But here we're just going to take our two-sided reach pin 2 and go, we hope. As long as it's not the free 6. That's probably our worst out at the moment. And with Rise doing the early call on this, plus cutting a free, he might want middle Sozi tiles, so we're kind of almost locked into this increasingly terrible wait. But if we do get the 4-6 swap, it's absolutely the one we're going for.
Run.
Gonna stop giving it points! Alright, no friendly, that's fine. Alright, Gap is Mungan. It's that weird position of being in 40,000 points, having a really good game, and still feeling hopeless. Okay, North Star. Yes, I won the first 2 hands of this game, and just since then it's been all one direction. And clearly that needs to stop, preferably before he becomes dealer again. Cut the 8-2. It is Yong. For God's sake, Rise! Ah! Alright, we'll play our normal game. He's got nothing. It's a bluff. Or it's a cheat toy. Nothing I can do at this point. Yeah, again, sometimes Mahjong just happens. But I'm not gonna actively play safe against this because I want to push it. Also, there was a chance the 7 would come out, but it won't now. South. There's 2 of those out. It's our wind. But we didn't want to try and finish this hand if we can. So probably cut the 9s, cut this 9, and hope that there's another 7 left somewhere. What do they keep drawing? My lone Pinsy tile, and it just continually locks me here. But that's fine too. I was joking! Nah, I'm not calling 9s. The requirement of needing a Yaku and still being at least 3 away is a problem. Come a 9 here. Do we dodge and go Chitoy here? Maybe. I've already committed to not calling the 9, so there are problems. And that is a completed sequence, so maybe I... No, we cut 9s. They're 2 safe tiles for the moment anyway, and also this allows us to just call anything go Tanya. So that's what we do.
Run.
I see a Dora in that hand. It's slightly more than 1,000 points. Alright, Gap is Mungan Sumo now. Especially as we dealer. Alright, Dora. Nice opening start to things. Let's go 9. Hello, Aegon! Stuff and things are happening. Also, somebody really needs to stop Rise soon. I'm hoping it's me, but it might not be. Also, Rise is cutting a suit. So I will cut the same suit and we'll see what happens. Ah, Sozu. Well, currently the only 2 people scored, I think, are me and Prospero because of the number of games played. I did get very interested in clock making. This is true, or at least tower making, especially towers covered in blood, or at least later covered in blood. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's free south. We're looking at Tanya here, and it means we're going to have to risk our dragons. But what can we do? Alright, so Tanya Dora 1 currently on the cards. That is an interesting draw, actually. I'm going to have to do some calculations at this point. Important to note, you can reach on negative points. We did establish you can do this with the current rule set. So you do not have to play requiring requiring a Yaku. Yeah, we're just going to
Pom.
go for this. I want that wrench hand. This isn't going to be enough points by itself, but it's a pretty interesting hand, so...
Chi.
That might not have, that was not the correct move, but it's fine. Yeah, should have held off with what I had, but it's what it is. Three-sided weight. Which does include Fedora, which is always fun. And we do have potential carnage, though we do lose Fedora's side of the weight if we do that. In fact, no, we don't have carnage because, of course, the two can't be card. Wrong 7. Okay, Tanya won. Egan, you now have a job. Congratulations on that, by the way. You do not need to shill my hand for euros. Alright. 6k is gap. My orphans! Well, we knew Rise was on something a bit weird, but hey. Apparently he had orphans. We don't believe him. Also, if he had orphans, our Tanyo hand was going to be that every single time once we got to Tenpai. So we just would have had to have played it. That is 1 Dora. We will incorporate that if we can. Oh, is he... Not even Tenpai, just the Shanten for orphans. Oh, you were miles away. These are my remaining 2 days of unemployment. As you should, sir. As you absolutely should. No difference, but there's a marginal chance of a Sanch Cube, so we'll stick with the 6s. And also, I like having weird, odd discards, especially if I end up waiting on this 7 later down the line. So Sanch Cube's practically dead, and it's just getting rid of one of these two. And as mentioned, I'm probably more likely to wait on the 7 so than the 8 pin, maybe. We'll see. I do not play Riichi City. Soul and Tenho, and occasionally random auto table games with people. Okay. I guess we go this way around then. Don't know if we necessarily... This isn't that much better, but... There are no 9s out, so maybe it's a little marginal increase. Guess that now allows that to be incorporated, and then we just have to get rid of a pair somewhere, but if we're getting rid of a pair, we're getting rid of the 9s anyway. I only own Yakuza 0, and yes, I got to the Mahjong part of the game, and then I kind of stopped playing it. So, yeah. Ah, 2 Dora. Alright, 9 goes.
Pom.
Yeah, now we have Tanya 2 Dora. We go this way. That's given away a lot of information for Draconis, because that was a Pon Chi pause.
Chi.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. God damn it, get that game. Pause. Oh, he's back in. Okay. Restore. Sorry, I wasn't on the menu. That's my bad. Oh, I'm just gonna cry now. There we go. Alright. It's got a T-door in succession. We're Tenpai. We have a Dora. Everything must surely be good, right? Alright, Tanya avoiding my weights. That makes sense. We can go for a 6. Seven is safe. I think I'm fine with that. This is also kind of walling off the 8s as well. If somebody's got a 7-8, they'll know that. In fact, 7s are walled off. They can see that. Given I know where Obadora are, I think that's fine. Close. One of my outs is gone. I'm down to 1 remaining. One of each remaining, rather. I mean, if somebody calls a Khan this late in the game, I'm likely to know where at least some of them are. Either way, my hand is only 2,000 points. Well, 3,000 because I'm dealer, but... 4-7 wait? 4-7. Yep. I mean, that was a lot of work for 1,000 points, but I can understand it. If I'd have capped for the pit Dora, though, well, it's a what if, and there was no chance I was going to draw the last Dora. The problem I've had is that obviously Draconis called the Chi, and there was still a pause, which meant somebody could overcall him. So he knew I had the things. So yeah, I couldn't realistically keep them because Draconis is on the ball enough to recognize that's going to be part of my hand somewhere. So do not end up waiting on that part of the hand if you can avoid it. Didn't matter ultimately, but yeah, sometimes you have to think about that thing in the actual game. In a live game, I might have even called first and they've still learned that. So, you know. Well, actually, in a live game, I wouldn't have bothered calling because I would have been a bad idea. But obviously, this being Soul, it has no way to know I don't want to call it. So, hey. Anyway, this is an interesting start to things. So Sage Q is the high end for this hand. 4, 5, 6 in each seat, and we have 2 Dora. So this is a Mungan attempt. This is a chance to overtake Rise in South 4. So it is absolutely the hand we're going for. Reach, Pinfu, Dora 2 is also fine.
Chi.
Well, Reach and Dora 2. Oh, Reach and Dora 2 might not be. He is dealer. Reach 2 and Sumo, though, should be enough. Surely Reach 2 and Sumo's got to be enough. Now it's enough.
Riichi.
Yeah, Carnage. Functionally, it can happen, but there can only be 4 indicated Dora tiles, so basically you have to Karn it all yourself in order for it to be legal, because if there are 4 Karns, the game ends in a draw. 4 Karns would mean there are 4 specific tiles that count as Dora, but you will need 5 types of tiles to win any hand of Mahjong, regardless of what your hand is. Either way, the only way you could do it functionally is if all of you have 4 Karns, therefore you have Sankansu, also therefore you are an idiot, because Sankansu is the worst Yakuman to try and get in the universe, I think. Either way, we won! While I talk about Sankansu stuff. Rise! Rise! We finally got you to stop winning! I started really well, and then just Rise! Oh boy. But GG. That was a good game. We now have some ranking point things on here. So, yeah. I guess that's how it goes. Alright. Match arrangement then, for whoever wants to join in. We have a couple of people in the chat. I'm willing to cycle out for an observation round. It kind of was in a lot of ways, yeah. Sometimes that just happens, unfortunately, as we just sort of discussed, but nothing was stopping Rise for the middle of that game. Be there in a sec. Okay, I'll cycle out for Aegon, unless Mono beats him to it, in which case we'll start the game like that, and I will do an observation bit. I'll also go and just grab an extra drink, because this isn't going to last me, and it's also terrible. Do I know any Mahjong movie with subtitles? I mean, no, but I've watched all of Akagi, I've watched all of Tetsuya, I've watched all of Saki twice, at least. More times than I care to mention, which is twice, clearly. Movies? Not really. Alright, so the game is Prospero, Rise, Draconis, and Aegon. I did not randomize the seats. I'm hoping that will do it. If you end up in these seats, I apologize. We will start the game. And I'm going to go and grab a drink, and I will be 2 or 3 moments. In fact, do I even have a splash screen for this? I still have my Not a Cylon screen. Which is talking about a Blood in the Clock Tower game, which I didn't actually think play in the end. Oh well. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, let's just take this back. Soul Stream, there we go. Back we are. Alright, swap match problem. Do you need me to pause the game? Still quite a while before I can even join it, but do you need me to pause the game? If you do, just let me know. Because I can pause the game, but unfortunately it does spoil me as to what the current game state is. I know no round has finished at this point, but yeah. Let's have a look at the. I forget which one it is. It was one of the hands I won, certainly. But obviously there was a Kokushi attempt, apparently. So let's have a look. Okay, again, sorry for that. It's just because I literally went away to. Yeah. Yeah, swap also was just a mistype of stop, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, I should really have. I did that a little earlier. Oh, I like how it now shows Mangan hands. So yeah, let's just have a look through this. So obviously I started with Mangan. Prosper got a quick win off Draconis. I hit a small sumo. Don't do what I do. Don't do what I do? This is big Hanneman here. We're just going to quickly observe this gun. In a quick formation. Oh. Just, yeah. Turn 7 reach. I was clearly bluffing. Draconis had the other 2 wins. Darn it, we should have done a swap under the table, Draconis. Just pass those back and forth. For no reason. Alright, it's fine. I won't look. I'm only a couple of minutes away from being able to observe the match, so we'll give it a moment. Just catching up on the Discords. I'm actually playing a live game in on Sunday in Leeds again, which should be quite good. And hopefully the Jam Flow will follow me up there, and hopefully at some point we'll get our tile efficiency back if we you know, play the game properly. It's a silly thing, but you know. Four, 3, 2, 1. All right. Get some slightly delayed observations about the game you might still be in. Okay, we begin with Draconis' dealer, and as mentioned, they were slow rolling the discards, which thank you very much for doing that. Thank you, Draconis, for doing that. Alright, he's back. Okay. So, slightly compromised. We're looking at a 2-pair hand. No quick Yaku here, but we'll see. Rise looks pretty standard. One isolated door at the moment. Egan has a door he can potentially incorporate. Potential 1, 2, 3 Sanchiku is the high end of his hand, I think. And Prospero, the sort of hand that might be leaning towards a Honitsu if you had more. If this was one long sequence, I might be thinking about it a bit more. But either way, that's a pretty good start for just a normal Pinfu hand if you just get rid of the 4 terminals and see where you are. Double Dora for Draconis. So is this a Cheetoy attempt? Now, we'll find out. Middle 5 so suggests it could be. Dora free. Available to call from Draconis, and now it is. Now it is we call and go. Yeah. It's, to be fair, it's a threat. A dealer showing free Dora means that immediately Manga and Hanneman dealerships are a thing you now have to worry about at all times. It is a bluff, but it's still a strong showing and absolutely gonna be worth it. The problem is, in terms of finishing this hand out, he is miles from anything. Hence the don't do what I do.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why he broke the pair up necessarily with that though. Unless he's thinking now, he's going the terminal route. Okay, I see it. I guess he could have thrown the Tuso at that point and kept his options open for Toy Toy as well, but either way, he's miles from it, regardless. Yeah. And I have definitely made these sorts of plays so many times. Usually on Toy Toy hands in my cases, where you overcommit to a hand and hope it'll pay off. And the people aren't just going to go, right, I need to win a quick hand now, because otherwise I lose the game. That's a good draw, though. That's some progression. Rise has got to complete that 1-2, and obviously got to worry about that, because given what's showing, middle tiles are safe. If Aegon was playing the... if I was Aegon, I'd have called that and gone for the quick Tanyo here, or been quick Ishanten. Again, it depends, because again, you've got to balance the fact that you know that a Hanneman hand is coming versus, you know, versus can I get there, and if I get there, can I stay there with my 1,000 point hand to fight that off? But I guess dealing in, you know, it's a balancing act here. Your 1,000 points stops you from falling a long way down if you just give up and take it, but equally, if you deal in, you are doomed because you take the full hit of it. So, what is Prospero building towards? Prospero is actually just going for a hand here, but look at things. Has options. That is another thing there. Rise risking a 1 pin. Yeah, so the middle tile is now coming out. That is Tempai. White dragon only for Draconis. 1 white shade. None in people's hands. There are 2 in the wall, and he escapes with a Chanter Dora free if he manages it.
Boom.
Meanwhile, Rise is Ishanten as well. West versus East. He plays West. That is a useful draw for Aegon. 1 away. Wants to cut the 8-so triplet, I think. Pair established for Rise. That allows them to potentially do some things, but I don't know if it's... I guess he's figured the 6 is safe. Okay, no, I understand that one from Aegon. Staying on the vein at the moment. 2 more draws. Let's take this after my call. Yeah, okay, I can see that happening. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he hasn't completed anything at this point. There's been lots of terminals played by everybody, so clearly it's a bluff, or he's just not got there at this point. So you're reasonable on that, and that is unfortunate. And the other downside of overcommitting. Did you not want the Tanyo? Hold on, what am I missing? Was that for a 10? For a 10? Yeah, you're for a 10 with 7. Yeah, of course you are. Yeah, missed it. I got it in the end. Sorry. I wasn't paying that much attention to things. But hey, Tenpai is Tenpai. And we go again. This is a much better starting hand for Draconis here. Direction and double Yakuhai in his opener. Rise also has a pretty interesting starting at this point. It's a little it's a little edge heavy, but it's, you know, it's workable. Aegon probably has objectively the best hand of the 3 so far, and over on Prospero's side, 3, 4, 5 Sandskew potentially. Hazadora. Let's get blue tiles out of the way and see what happens. But Draconis is in and away again. Okay, Rise now looking at the Chitoy line. He is Ishanten for pairs. Double Dora for Prospero. Yeah, made the 1 call, not committing until he's got his Yaku secured at this point, although at this stage he is committed to getting this East finished. Or doing some shenanigans around walking this up to a Chanter or Jinchan of some sort. Aegon's Call is a little less useful in context, but could be a Toy hand, which is what he's kind of... Yeah. Okay. Again, this is the Toto push, and this is the most common kind of overcalling, which is what Draconis rather did in the last round. Basically committing to the Yaku and forcing it. And then causing yourself problems later down the line because you have less defensive options. But, I mean, this is Toy Toy with no bonuses, and I don't like going open Toy Toy for that, if I can avoid it. Oh, that is the worst draw for Draconis. Okay, so Draconis is now for a 10 for his East Weight. So he can call it, he then has to break up his hand and be for a 10 again. Aegon for a Rinshan, which doesn't pay off. Rise has picked up another pair. In fact, that is Tenpai if he wants to do it. And of course, there is Kandora now. Reach on the 9 pin. 1 out, 1 remains. We'll see how this goes. Oh, that is...
Run.
Draconis, your luck is just abysmal right now. Alright, well, you'll see. We'll get to the bottom and we work our way back up. But in the meantime, we're going to switch to behind Aegon here, and we're going to once again observe the 10th Dan at the peak of his powers, we assume. Again, this is a pretty nice starting hand. This is the sort of hand that you want to open at the start of the game, generally speaking. You've got lots of connections, you've got lots of potential options. Normally you just get rid of the Onitars and Turtles, which is what he's doing, and that will naturally progress you into a workable hand as dealer. Again, if you don't have obvious Yaku as a dealer, what you want is a hand that's going to progress quickly. And that's what he's currently doing. He is, though, getting rid of 3... He's keeping the Turtles a little too long, I think, is the one thing I would comment on this. Obviously, these are good tiles if you can pair them up, but if you're not pairing them up early, it's better to go with the efficiency tiles. So 357, for example, is a very nice shape to have in terms of tiles it can accept that improve it. Because you get the middle tile of one set, discard the other one, and you've got that done. See if he now gets rid of the East Dragon at this point. No, he gets rid of the 5. Again, 5 is a reasonable draw here because it extends it on this side. Obviously gives you pair run potential. You kind of had that anyway with the triplet 7s and 8s, but... Okay, now you should definitely get rid of Green or East. And again, he's cutting his options down.
Boom.
Rice is just going for a dragon only hand by the look of it, which he's going to get at some point, presumably from Aegon. See, if he'd have kept the 5 now, this is what I mean by sort of tile efficiency things, because that would have been... He'd have had those in his hand, he'd still had the 5 for getting rid of these 2. His hand would have been in a much better shape, but 2 away. What's everybody else doing? Because I've kind of been focusing a little bit on Aegon's side of it. He's finally rewarded 10 pair of Easts. And he's still committing to this Toy Toy plan. I mean, Suanko is a Yakuman hand, and maybe that is the plan here. Just go all in on it. Maybe it's a Suanko plan, and let's just go all in on it. Yep.
Oh.
Aegon does a Forso here, then, you know. Alright, Aegon reaches for a Yakuman chance. No, it doesn't reach for a Yakuman chance. Objectively, though, it looks as if it's a dead weight. 4 is incorporated into Rise's hand. Rise is not going to get rid of the 2 greens. And Prospero's 4 is also incorporated. But, jeez. I mean, Aegon's just showed me up there completely. He's just gone straight for the Yakuman attempt. But yeah, unless Prospero really breaks up his hand for a reason, and that might be a legitimate answer for why you might want to reach if you can, you know, provide legitimate reasons, potentially. Cause somebody to play out abnormally. Well, that's the call. Again, 4-5 is incorporated into his hand, and it's only going to get more so with this, unless he needs it as a safe tile for something. Reaching also prevents people from, you know, still attacking you, because you seem like a non-entity at this point. Again, Rise doesn't have a Yaku because he needs the dragon, which is not going to happen. Yeah, now Prospero is Tenpai on the free 6, so he's not breaking that up. Whereas if you'd have reached, maybe something might have happened. Yeah. Unfortunate, but yeah, no, showed me up. Went straight for the Yakuman, and you hit Tenpai. Reach and Salanko, though, is fine, honestly. Because it's only a Yakuman if you draw it, which I think is the important thing with that particular hand. Still, we move on. Yakuman chances. We said this is Friday the 13th. This is a day for Yakumans. This is a nice starting hand from Rise. Alien Wind, admittingly, but everything else is pretty connected. As I said, this is kind of what you want if you don't have the easy Yaku high pairs. You just want a nice hand that can accept a lot of tiles into it to be useful. Prospero has made a quick double call and is Ishanten for East only to become dealer. And again, nothing wrong with a one hard hand to become dealer. It is a strategy I employ a lot when I can get away with it. Draconis, unfortunately, needs a little bit of work because it's a bit terminal heavy, and Aegon is, again, messy. A few pairs, but we'll see how that develops as the game goes on. Sanchiku chance, I guess, from Rise as well, although it'd need a bit of work whichever way round this ends up going. And of course, he's always got the alien winds that he can just toss for safety at some point. Although, admittingly, in this case, he hasn't seen any of them, so they're not a definite safe tile at this point. But in theory, you know that most likely it's only going to be Draconis who cares massively about them unless it's an incidental weight. Alright, Aegon, are you going to be greedy? Aegon's going to be greedy. He sees 4 dragons. Clearly that's enough. There's never mind there's one of each of them played. That is a triplet of 8s, though. Is Aegon just going the all Yakuman plan? Because if he is, I'm all for it. Yeah, that's Fedora discarded now, so... Again, why not the 8 in that position? But I do love it. I'm not again, objectively not the correct move, but I'm loving it. God, see, this is 10th down. Aegon knew he would get it. Jeez. Still awkward to get the rest of them, admittingly, but it's a thing. North is his wind. Didn't keep it. Aegon pairs up the white dragon now. I'm just gonna laugh because that's alright. So technically Tenpai on the 5, but actually no, it's a there is a Yaku, East only. So an incidental Tenpai. And an incidental Sumo. Alright, is Aegon gonna go for his 3rd Yakuman attempt in a row? Sooner or later one of them's gotta happen, right? Also, Aegon pulling off a Yakuman is definitely something that absolutely has to happen. Oh, this is a monster hand from Prospero. Okay. So, multi-pairs. This is an obvious go for Honitsu plan. He has Ipeiko already set up. It's not the South Round, unfortunately, so this is an Alien Wind pair. But still, this is pretty good as well. Even if you end up going Chitoi, you're pretty set there. Yeah. So this is where you get rid of the middle tiles, because obviously you want the Chitoi tiles, and if you do end up getting early calls on these, you probably take them and go for the Honitsu. Alright, Aegon, what Yakuman can you get from there? Not many, admittingly. This is probably more, unfortunately, a Honitsu hand than it is a Yakuman attempt, but we will keep in. You might be able to triple those things up and go for a Suanko. Draconis has a set of dragons and a Dora in hand, which is extremely nice. And Rise also has 4 pairs. Alright, 5 pairs for Prospero. Again, he'd already discarded a North, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would have been a better thing to be waiting on, obviously. West should be fine. 1 out. That's okay. So this is all of a Chitoi logic. 1 roughly Alien Wind, which West should be for most people, is better than an incidental middle tile that you don't have any indicators on. At least as a final weight, in terms of things that people might incidentally discard. Aegon's cutting his Norths because he's now utilising safe tiles here. And that is a call for Tenpai. Shun Dura 1 on a pair weight. And that is Tenpai, Riichi Peiko. Waiting on the south and 1. Which I guess is the alternate thing that you might have been thinking of rather than Chitoi. But, 2 players in Tenpai. A south and a 1 in Rise's hand. So Rise with the ability to deal into both players, but we'll see how this goes. Well, what is Aiden going to do? So he's not a million miles away from just getting a Chinitsu here, but that is unfortunately a Ron. But Riichi Peiko as dealer could have been a lot worse. Prospero does take the lead. Okay, I'm looking at Jagen's Yakuman chances and I'm thinking not much here. But clearly this is a Kokushi line. A little bit awkward from Prospero, hoping to pair up something and move on from there. Draconis, I think, has the best opener of the set at this stage. South being Dora as well is possibly significant, but we're not in the South round yet. And Aiden has paired them. Okay, now it is very significant. Aiden paired them. Someone needs to finish a hand with them, but he can have Pinfu and a pair of Dora South, so should be good. Multi-pairs. In fact, Aiden's on 4 pairs, so Chitoi or Toy Toy. Probably the plan here. And with Dora, I would probably go for Toy Toy if I got the chance. The downside is all of his pairs are middle pairs, with the exception of the 8, so I'm not expecting them to come out of people's hands early in the game, which is when you need to be making some sort of progress. 5 pairs. Alright, Chitoitsu, Ishanten. You get rid of the 4 here, because 7, 4. Oh no, he's Tenpai. I had not registered. He's Tenpai on the 4. Not reaching it though. Chitoi Dora 2 is essentially a manga in hand. It's 9-6. No, that 9-6 is dealer. What is it in non-dealer? I don't have a chart in front of me. That. Okay. So he's now played both sides of the thing. But this is a good enough hand. Oh, Agen, you had Tenpai. Why did you call it? You no longer have Tenpai. Dora 3 is tempting. I'm not going to lie. Dora 3 is tempting, and you're early enough that you can pivot. But, yeah, I think you were fine to leave it there. Because now you've committed to this. Although, admittingly, you have committed to a Mongan hand. So, this hand is more valuable than the Chitoi.
Riichi.
But now you've got this problem. Is that people are going to try and win a hand quickly to spite you. Because you are now showing a threat. All successfully dodged. But, need to do something with that 6 now. Thankfully, you can win with any hand, pretty much. It's just, obviously, got to get it finished. And all your tiles now look risky. And yeah. It is unfortunate, and had you have reached, you might even have forced Rise off the pot with it, but yeah. Because he'd have probably been stuck with that South in his hand. He wouldn't have discarded that had you have reached, I think. At least he'd have been reluctant to. Anyway, back to South. Pretty good opener from Draconis. Agen. Yeah, that looks okay. Edge pair, only 1 terminal to get rid of. Some progression to do. Rise has a pair, 2 melds, and a few loose tiles, so we'll see where he is once he's got rid of those. And Prospero, pretty decent as well here. It happens, Agen, don't worry. And to be fair, that's a decision point there, because again, with the triplet of the Souths, and the dragon as well, your hand was worth more with those as calls than it was as a Chitoi without the reach. So there's arguments on both sides, but I would probably have either kept it or reached to try and, plant the flag that I am Tenpai, discard tiles at your risk, which meant Rise would not have gotten to Tenpai unless he discarded the Dora, which would have been very difficult to do against the reach. Not saying he wouldn't have done it, and he wouldn't have won anyway, but that is the advantage of reaching when you have a hand at the start, because people have to play around it somewhat. Anyway, Draconis is Ishanten. Potential Sanshikyu chances, which I think is. We'll see. So he draws the 7, discards the 3, and reaches there with Reach Sanshikyu, Dora Dora. Potentially hand him in hand. This is a potential comeback hand, actually, I think, given the point gaps. And the fact he is dealer. Just needs a 5-pin. Agen's hand getting closer. just complete that. Or pair up one of the things there. Should be good. And they're onto a 9 dragon weight. Yeah, not quite there. He needs a Sanchikyo, I think. So, I mean, forwards will be fine. Riichi, Peiko, and Doradora is also fine for Mangan. Rise is Tenpai, though, on his pair weight. Safe tile. Safe tile, and no help for anybody. And that's the 5 that Draconis needs. Alright, it's the wrong side of the reach, but it is a reach. So 4-7 for reach, Pin, Fu, and 2. Which is Mungan, and Dealer Mungan is enough for right now. Aegon also hitting Tenpai here, but he's got to discard 7 to get in there, and he folds. Correct decision made. There are 2 reaches on the board. You play safe unless your hand is a monster, is the general consensus. Unfortunately, this is also when the game loves to just keep putting you in Tenpai over and over again. The Mahjong gods, unfortunately, we're not kind to Aegon there. The game will keep putting you in Tenpai when you try to fold. And that is a direct hit into Draconis. Mangan plus a reach stick. Draconis is back in the game, and Aegon now needs those Yakumen. We'll see if he gets a chance, but let's go. Yeah, this is a great hand for Draconis in a lot of ways. It's easily Pinfu. He doesn't have many terminals to get rid of. It is a bit towards the edge, which is, I guess, not ideal, but he's already got the meld there, and he can get rid of one of these on the way. In fact, he's now got both melds there, so yeah, okay. Any weakness the hand had is now pretty much gone. Just Ishanten on turn 3. Needs to get a pair, which is the only problem he's got left. But, you know, definitely acceptable.
Boom.
Alright, Rise picks up a Yakuhai and is Ishanten. Possible Itsu? I don't think so. That doesn't feel like the right play at all. Oh, maybe Draconis does think it's the right play. I guess as you progress, you might end up in a 2-5 weight, so... You also might be thinking about the call and just playing a little... Getting the riskier tiles out of the way to start with. Aegon played a 9 that was a useful tile for him. I guess 7, 7, 8, 9 is a bit of a limited improvement pool for that sort of pattern, but you have things you can get rid of at this point. You could have got rid of the 5, for example. Alright, Prospero. Oh, and that is the reach. 3-6 for Reach Pinfu. And whatever order appear. So there's a 6 in Aegon's hand, a 3-6 in Prospero's hand, and a 6 in Rise's hand. So not very many outs at this point, but we'll see.
Boom.
Alright, that's for double. Still Ishanten for Rise, but looks as if he's got that Yakuman chance up. He doesn't, there's too many Souths out. But I mean, actually there aren't. There are only a pair of Souths. He could have it. He doesn't, but he could have it. They never have it. Remember, they never have it. Okay, Aegon still kind of on the attack. He's playing 7 out of his hand at this point, but could call and go for a Tanyo attack. Doesn't. I mean, 2 safe tiles is useful enough at this point. The dealer reach is, you know, something to worry about. That's a good draw. Unfortunately, he's played a 9 earlier, so that's now going to be a 4-10 trap for him later. Obviously, a 3-6-9 pattern here. Unless he draws one of those pieces to specifically repair the hand. His Tenpai is going to be a self-draw win only, and that is exactly what I think has just happened. So 3-6-9, but he can only win on a self-draw. I think it's still worth the... Okay. He doesn't reach it. I think it would still have been worth a reach there, but... But again, for a 10 happens. You know, if you have a lot of outs, for a 10 is not a problem. Admittedly, there are a lot of 6s and 9s that you can see in the middle there. We're going to do the meme. Which one? There's lots of the meme. Alright, 4-7. Lots of winning tiles in Prospero's hand here, but he is successfully dodging. Aegon reaches. Put the pressure on, but he put the pressure on possibly a turn too late. Especially as he can only self-draw, but Rise picks up the win. Again, had you done that a couple of turns ago, Rise might not have made the call and gone for it. But, again. Advantage of, you know, being obvious. Alright, though, this is the big turn now. Aegon is now dealer. The comeback. At this stage, priority 1... Oh, dear God, I've just seen Prospero's hand. Yeah, priority 1, just get the completed hand at this stage. So you can call this. Your hand is a mess, but you're dealer. We don't care. So we'll work on fixing the hand in a moment as we go. As I look at Draconis' potential cheat toy there. Jeez. Rises a pair of East and the South round, which is, you know, always a good thing to see. It always happens. Happens to someone, anyway. Often me. Another pair for Prospero. So 4 pairs including Dora. And he's not going for triplets, he is going for what looks like Chitoy. Again, Westerby, arguably a better thing to be waiting off Chitoy, but it's fine. And Aegon just clearing out his terminals at this point. How is Draconis doing? Not too bad. A couple away. 2 or 3 away. But yeah, Rise is pretty much on this. Ishan 10 with Riichi and Pintu, you would think. East doesn't matter. He's not going to call that. He's just going to have that as 2 safe tiles if he needs to bail. There's the 8 that Aegon wants. I would call this. He does. Right, Prospero now decides to pivot, change gears. He's now going for either Honitsu or Toy Toy. Aegon has a pair. And that is a reach. 1-4-7 for Rise. Rise taking off into that. I mean, it passed, but geez, that is brave. Free side probably means Aegon's out at this stage, unless he gets extremely fortunate with draws. Given all the Sozu he played, I think you can guesstimate the Sozu are probably okay, but... Oh, Aegon has some Carnage options, and does Karn. Well, that's not the worst thing in the world for him. It's improved his hand. He's now Ishanten. If the 5-pin comes out, that is Tenpai with a safe free-so discard. That is useful. Yep. Okay. This is working okay. Aegon might end up in the same weight as Rise, which would be useful. Aegon's in the same weight as Rise here. Well, at least a partial same weight as Rise. 7 and 5. 5s, though, are not going to come out unless Prospero decides to go slightly mad here. Does mean it's more likely going to be Rise, but I think... Oh, he's going to split it for a 3-sided weight here. That's the correct efficiency path, but 3 is safe. You know that, and he does. Good move, Aegon. Yeah, Aegon played that well. Riichi and Pinfu, I mean, he's lost his dealer turn, but the comeback is not impossible. Aegon just needs to hit that Yakuman. Come on, you had 2 Yakuman chances earlier, Aegon. Let's have another one. Okay, we'll move to Rise, and he has 4 pairs in his opener. we'll see how that goes. But 4 pairs in his opener. Prospero with some honest to clear up, and then we'll see what he's done. Draconis, 1 meld. Not a lot else going on. Again, it's double Dora. A couple of pairs, no melds. Three pairs now for Aegon. I forgot I had super chats as a thing. And also, it's too tiny for me to read all that. Sorry, Logan, whoever. I can't read the other part of it. Bear with. Logan Fleming has subscribed. Thank you very much. If you are here, which might not be the case, welcome. Alright, Rise now, Ipeiko or 5 pairs. Out of his 7. Aegon with a bit of work still to do there. That is a interesting draw given things. He decides to stick with that rather than going for the potential upgrade path towards Suanko. A GG has been called. I would ask for no spoilers while I just observe the last bit of this. Clearly Aegon is about to come back with a Yakuman. That is clearly what is about to happen. He's had 2 chances. He can get another one. Alright, Pon. Dragon and Dora. I mean, Dragon, Dora, Toy Toy would be fine. That's a comeback path. Also, yes, I'm absolutely supporting Aegon because, of course, I am. Alright, Toy Toy, pretty much getting there. Just needs to get the last few bits of it. And having Dragon as a backup is always nice when you get for these sort of Toy Toy-ish hands. It means you can pivot out. Not least likely to do so at this point, I would imagine. Call for Tempo? Call for... Oh, it wouldn't be Tempo. Also, yeah, I was about to say potentially Honitsu, but I don't think that's going to necessarily happen here. Rai still stuck in Ishanten Hell with his Cheetoy. And that is another call for Aegon, who looks like he's on Honitsu. Unfortunately, I don't think either of the 6s are coming out because they're now incorporated into both hands here, so he needs to draw that last one himself somewhere. White Dragon's also live, so again, probably going to be a point where somebody folds if they grab it, but turns out desperate they are to close the gap at this stage. Alright, Riichi it is. It is a closed reach on the 5, of which there are 2 that are stuck in Rice's hand, 1 on the board, so there is effectively a hell weight, not that they know that. But Aegon has potentially Toy Toy Dora free. I think he's got to try for this. Honitsu is a possible switch, but I'd stick with the thing you've got at the moment this late in the game. There's only 4 more draws. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get there. Draconis can potentially call for Tempai, and he does. Oh, 12 for Ishanten, actually, sorry. Unfortunate, but at that stage you're pushing because you need value. There's nothing wrong with that discard. 5-2. Alright, final hand then. So, Rice has a 7-3 lead. Prospero, obviously, if he does win, will have to have a Renshan. That is the way the rules are currently set up. But if Rice deals into a Mungan, he does fall into second. So, not entirely... I don't get much... To be fair, Aegon, you're not that bad. There's a couple of decision-making points I pointed out earlier in the commentary. But I think a couple of your deal-ins actually were because you were Tempai and you didn't reach because you were looking for something else. Which meant that Rise was able to make a more risky discard twice, which then meant he won the hand. And I think, honestly, if you look back at the sort of planning of things and how the hand might have progressed if that hadn't happened, I think Rise would have been very difficult priced, especially with that Cheetoy hand you had, which you then called for the, obviously, South Dragon Mungan. That's the main one I noticed, because Rise would not have been able to play that Dora South if you'd have reached 2 turns earlier. Or at least it would have been far more difficult for him to do so. Alright. Yeah, and again, it's more the threat of a Reach being on the board that means that other people have to at least play around it somewhat. And that kind of cost you a couple of wins, I think. You also had 2 Yakuman chances. You were Yakuman Tenpai at one point with Sun Anko, and if you'd have reached with that, I don't think you'd have necessarily won the hand, because I think it was very unlikely to finish it off, but you'd still force everybody to play slower to give you more chances. And also, if you reach and they deal into you, it's Reach, Sun Anko, Toy Toy, which is a Mungan. I think it's Sun Anko Toy Toy is probably a Mungan anyway. Yeah, it is. But if you get Adora, it's Mahanaman, so... It's small little things like that. In terms of tile efficiency, there's a few occasional bits and pieces, but to be fair, I'm not the expert on tile efficiency. My tile efficiency has gone to pot as well. But a couple of small bits around that. You have a tendency to love getting pairs and triplets over, you know, the waiting sequences, but anyway, while I was talking, I did no commentary on that game, and they do nick me. I don't lie with this. Draconis with the 6,000 secures 3rd place, and Rise takes the win. Alright, let's get into a game. I might have to get some dice for this, I think, depending on how this is, but we'll see. Alright, match arrangement. I'm going to say prepare, and we'll see who's around for this one. Send the all for the attempt opening in Discord. Oh, okay. Let's have a quick look at that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So opening on 9, I think, is what, a 5% probability of conversion, maybe. I mean, I'd still go for it. I like a 5% chance at it. I had the option to draw the hand, had to go for it. Yeah. And again, 9 is the worst odds to go for. By the way, Rise, you're winning the tournament. That kind of just is the fact that I put this on. End of the year, you might end up on top, at which point you win, and you get the trophy, once I find the trophy again. So yeah, you're technically winning by having the best 5-game streak. Which is going to be quite difficult to beat, I think, given that there's probably only going to be one more session of this before the end of the year. But yeah. It's fine. We'll work it out for next year and reset things and do whatever. But hey, Rise currently on the road to be champion. Oh dear. If nobody else wants to join in, I will wrap things up for today. But I'll keep it open for another minute or two. We'll just see. You could make that better. Actually, what is your... Hold on. Let's go to the log here. What are your last 5? So you have a win, a 2nd place, a win, and a 4th. Oh, you actually, yeah, you... Basically, as long as you get a better result than -25... Yeah, no, you're about to remove a 4th place from this as well. So that actually is going to... Yeah, just don't finish with -2,500 and you improve. In fact, you lose the game on 200 points, you improve by 2. Oh boy. I think Rise might have this tournament. Unless we start pulling off Yakuman. I mean, yeah, I'm about to lose a win from my current streak, but this 68, I think, is my current run. Because I started badly. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap this up then. Thanks for joining me, and yeah, we'll see you, I think, next week for the final one of the year. I don't know if I'm going to do some New Year's or end of year, towards end of year style Washizu event of some kind. It'll probably have to be on auto table, and I'll have to obviously find people to play with, but we'll see if that happens. If not, we'll see. Next year, I'm planning on starting Tiles of Confusion 2025 in earnest, and we'll debate the final rules. But actually, I think I'm probably going to keep this best continuous 5 games as how I score things going forward. because I think that means we can cycle in and out. There is, there is potential incentive to continue, but it also means that I don't finish second by virtue of playing almost all the games in a year, which is what has been the case with the old tournament system. I might keep both of them on the sides and just see how that works out. But yeah, again, I'll work it out another time. Thank you for joining me. Good night all. Catch you later.